What if your so-called type is actually the reason you keep getting hurt? Most people think they keep falling for wrong people. But what if your brain has been choosing for you this whole time? You don't fall in love with the best person. You fall for the person who wakes up your nervous system. And that sounds romantic until you realize your nervous system has terrible taste. The people who feel the most exciting are not always the safest. The butterflies you feel might actually be anxiety because your brain can mistake emotional chaos for real connection, and that's exactly where things become dangerous. The crazy part is the wrong person almost never looks wrong at first. They seem exciting, magnetic, almost impossible to ignore. They make you feel like they are the one person who finally understands you. And then, little by little, everything starts changing. One day they are warm, the next day they are completely distant. They send mixed signals, and somehow you just want them even more. Instead of walking away, you feel yourself getting pulled in. That's not love, that's your brain getting hooked. Here's the painful truth: a lot of people are not in love with the person, they are in love with trying to win that person. It's not really about them anymore. It's about finally feeling like you own. You start chasing the feeling, not the person. You tell yourself if you're just little better, everything will finally work. But psychology says something completely different. The more unpredictable the reward, the more obsessed your brain becomes. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's the exact same system that makes gambling addictive. You never know when the payoff is coming, so your brain keeps pulling the lever over and over. Now imagine that exact system running your relationship. One day they take forever to text back, and then out of nowhere they are incredibly affectionate again. Then they disappear all over again. Then suddenly they open up, tell you something deeply personal. Your brain immediately starts searching for a pattern. Your body is not looking for romance anymore. It's looking for relief. And before you even realize it, all your attention is locked into them. You're not feeling peaceful. You're emotionally activated. And that's exactly why your body can mistake anxiety for attraction. Here's the weird part: the safest people often feel boring at first. Not because they don't have depth, it's because your nervous system got used to drama. If you grew up around inconsistency, calm can actually feel unfamiliar. So when someone shows up steady, your brain thinks something's missing. That's not your intuition talking, that's conditioning. And the best part is, conditioning can be changed. So why does this happen to so many people? Because attraction is not just about the other person. A huge part of attraction is not about seeing someone clearly. It's about seeing what you hope they will become. You don't just see them, you see your own dreams, your old wounds, your unmet needs, and the hope that this person will finally fix everything. That's why so many people fall in love with potential. They are not dating the person standing in front of them. They are dating the version they are hoping to unlock. You have probably heard people say they just need more time. Sometimes that's compassion and sometimes it's denial. That difference can change the next 5 years of your life, because potential is one of the most seductive traps you will ever fall into. Potential doesn't text you back, it doesn't build trust, and it doesn't make you feel safe. Potential is just a story your mind keeps telling, and people become addicted to stories, especially the story where you believe you will be the one who finally changes them. That's another trap, the rescuer fantasy. It feels noble, it feels meaningful, it even feels like real love. But sometimes people don't choose partners, they choose projects. And when that project never really changes, we call it heartbreak. Here's what makes it even more confusing. Your brain loves what's familiar even more than what's true. We all say we want honesty, peace, and healthy love. But when it comes to real life, we often chase what feels familiar instead. If your early life taught you that love always came with uncertainty, then stable love might actually feel underwhelming. Not because you're broken, your body simply learned the wrong definition of love. And that's why even smart people keep repeating the same relationship pattern. You think you are making a brand new choice, but your nervous system may already have made it for you. You can have high standards on paper and still end up choosing someone who is completely wrong for you. That's why self-awareness matters more than dating advice. Dating advice tells you how to spot red flags, but self-awareness tells you why you ignore them. Let me show you a story that explains this better than any theory. Researchers placed a marshmallow in front of a child. They had one simple choice, one now or two later. Most people think this experiment was all about self-control, but the real lesson was something much deeper. It was really about trust. When children learn that promises are reliable, waiting feels safe. But if life teaches you that the world is unpredictable, you grab what's in front of you because waiting doesn't feel safe. That same pattern follows us into adult relationship. If love has always felt unpredictable, your brain starts chasing whatever gives you an instant emotional hit. Text, a compliment, a kiss, a dramatic apologies. Those little moments of attention can feel bigger than real love. Because when you have been starving for love, reliefs feel exactly like it. And that's the psychological trick most people never notice. Not every attraction begins with happiness. Sometimes attraction begins with relief. And relief is incredibly addictive. That's why people stay long after they know they should leave. It's why they go back even after getting hurt. It's why obvious red flags suddenly become easy to ignore. Because you're no longer attached to the person, you are attached to the emotional relief they occasionally give you. There is another psychological trap that keeps people stuck. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. The more time you have invested, the harder it becomes to walk away. Not because the relationship is healthy, but because leaving makes all the effort feel wasted. So people stay another month, then another, until one day they realize years have passed and they were not in love anymore. They were protecting an investment. Eventually, the relationship stops being something you have. It starts feeling like who you are. And that's why breakups can feel unbelievably painful. You're not only losing another person, you're losing the future you imagined. The vacations, the home, the family. Sometimes you are grieving a future that never actually existed. And your brain processes that loss almost like physical pain. Brain scans have shown something incredible. When people experience heartbreak, the same brain region involved in physical pain become active. That's why people say they have a broken heart. Your body is not being dramatic. It's responding exactly the way human brain was designed to. And then the dopamine enters the story. Most people think dopamine is the chemical of pleasure, but dopamine is really about anticipation. It's the feeling that something good might happen any second. And that's exactly why unpredictable people can feel impossible to forget. You never know when the next good moment is coming, and your brain keeps chasing that possibility. Casinos have understood this for decades. It's not winning every time that keeps people playing. It's not knowing when you will win. Relationships can accidentally work the same way. A little affection, then distance, then another tiny moment that makes you believe everything's finally getting better. And that's exactly where healing begins. Not by finding a different person, but by understanding the person making the choice. Next time someone gives you butterflies, wait for a second. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I feeling peaceful or am I feeling anxious? Because those two feelings are rarely the same thing. Real love usually feels calmer than your old emotional patterns. So maybe your heart was not broken because you loved the wrong person. Maybe your brain was simply following patterns it learned years ago. And once you understand those patterns, they stop controlling you. That's the moment you finally begin choosing love instead of chasing it. And that's when everything starts to change. Because the strongest relationship you will ever build is the one you have with yourself. If this changed the way you think about relationships, hit subscribe and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care of your mind.